Well, the IRS scandal returns. Sort of Lois Lerner is back, metaphorically, of course. But seriously, joining us now, Jason Chaffetz, Fox News contributor. Jason was a former House Oversight and Government Reform Committee chair when this thing first hit 6, 7, 8 years ago. Jason, here we are now leaking to the liberal investigative unit ProPublica. Had this happen, what do you think they're going to do about it, if anything? And why are we giving the IRS $80 billion more, so they can go ahead and attack conservatives and rich people?
Yeah, this is a pattern that keeps repeating itself. So, of course, give them billions of dollars more and more agents to keep doing more of the same. This always comes out against conservatives. We saw it play out in the Lois Lerner, where they suppressed more than 400 organizations. President Obama said there wasn't even a smidgen of corruption,
right,
despite 5 open investigations that led to the Department of Justice having to pay settlement to these 400 organizations. But now move forward to some high-profile people in the United States. They go and steal this information, make it public. The penalty is up to $5,000 per incident plus 5 years in prison. And it's a real test for the new Attorney General to see if he'll actually get to the bottom of this, because it is traceable. You can figure out who it is. The big question is, will they actually do something about
Jason,
it? I have my doubts.
Well, I get that, but just let me come back. You said they stole it. Did they steal it? See, ProPublica, and I want to say, and ProPublica is a very, they've done a lot of good things. They're investigative types. I know they're left of center, but, they're, in the grand scheme of things, they're not bad at all. But they said, this is the part I thought maybe you'd heard some gossip on. They said they somehow got it. Like they got it. It fell into their hands. It's kind of like Mary and Joseph on Christmas Eve. Just fell into their hands. Then they said they had a discussion amongst themselves, right? And they decided it was in the public interest to release it. So how do you think they got it? Seriously, it wasn't hacking. Was it an IRS leak, do you think?
If I had to guess, given my experience, these are not file folders sitting on some shelf that fell down and ended up on some subway chair.
Right.
It's not a coincidence that Jeff Bezos' tax returns for year after year after year show up. So yeah, I do think they're stolen. It's governed by what's called Section 6103. This is highly confidential information, and there was a very good bipartisan push years ago after the Nixon administration to make sure that this stuff was never, ever used as a political bludgeoning tool. But they had that plugged up until the Obama-Biden administration, and now we've seen a pattern of it because there is no consequence to it actually going out the door.
So, Jason, is this weaponizing the IRS in order to enhance, Biden's, I call it his green worker paradise, Bulgaria, agenda of raising taxes on successful people, right? Redistribution, not growth. So all these people, right, somehow mysteriously it gets leaked, published. It's all about rich people. Is this done to weaponize the Biden agenda?
Well, look, is it a pure coincidence that the ProPublica, and I do believe they're actually a pretty good organization, I've worked with them in the past, that this information comes out the day before Senator Wyden has a key hearing there in the Senate on this very topic, and he uses this in his opening statement? Are we just supposed to believe that, that just happened to happen on that day? Give me a break.
So after that coincidence, remarkable coincidence, immaculate conception, really, this whole story, we'll never find out. Will there be a tough investigation by somebody? Justice Department, I don't know. I mean, a really tough, this is right, this goes against American confidence in the IRS and in their personal information. So will anybody go after anybody here?
Well, the Attorney General is now on the record saying there will be a tough investigation. And like I said, I think this is a good initial test for him to see if he can do it. And also you have TIGTA, which is the Special Inspector General for tax investigations. And we'll see if they can get to it. But there is a trail that is here. But remember, last time we saw this movie, Larry, guess what? We worked to subpoena documents from the IRS on the Lois Lerner case, and they destroyed them, and nothing ever happened. You destroy documents under a subpoena in somebody else's administration, you're going to jail. If you do it at home, you're going to jail.
Right.
But in the government, they just let them get away with it.
And wait, don't forget, the emails disappeared. The documents were destroyed.
Yeah.
And the emails disappeared. There was that angle, too. I mean, this is a wonderful story.
33,000 of them.
Right.
33,000.
So you were coincidentally a guest, this was early in your congressional career when this stuff broke, of a well-known TV guy on a different network in those days. That's when we first started mixing it up, you and me.
I remember that. It was a good interview. I do remember that.
It was. You came,
I like that guy.
You came with your beautiful bride, and I told you were going to do great on TV. So do we give the IRS another $80 million to go out and chase waitresses and rich people?
Yeah, billions more.
80 billion, I mean,
in the normal appropriations, if it was the normal appropriations process, guess what? They would get dinged. They would actually have some consequences. You don't provide the documents, you don't provide the names, then you don't get this money. But because we do all these continuing resolutions and those types of things, we don't have regular order, there is no consequence.
Jason Chaffetz, great stuff. Thanks very much for coming on. Hope you'll come back soon.